everyone. Welcome to the stream of KazamaFury's. Happy Friday. What's good in the hood? We gonna get into this shit right now. But let me say a few more things in this computer voice. What's up? I'm mad, and you about to find out why. Let's do this.
Hey, what is good, everybody? What is good? What is good? And yes, I am live. Gonna do this one. Try to keep it brief because I gotta go to work in the morning. But there was a lot of shit that needed to be said. And you wonder why the stream is called TicK. It's because, you know, given the whole situation with this pandemic going on, you would think people would heed advice, but this just proves that Negroes do not take shit serious. We got a lot of clown ass Negroes who make jokes, make light of everything. It's like, is it even a coping mechanism? What's going on, y'all? Is it even a coping mechanism, or is it just the fact that people were just ignorant to this shit? But I swear, I'm out here and it's like nobody pay attention. There's too many people outside right now, and you gotta understand where my problem come out with this. How you doing, organic? You gotta understand, there's people outside. A lot of hustlers right now are out there shooting dice. I swear, 2 places shooting dice right down the street from me, and then on the outskirts of the park. And my thing is, if you out there, you about that life, you out there hustling, you slinging, you exchanging money with a lot of these sick people. Because let's be honest, a lot of people who are out there homeless or on drugs are more than likely have it or have been exposed to it. And then they have come in contact with these same people who are out there with their friends shooting dice, drinking off the same bottle. Just a lot of stuff, but a lot of people don't take this shit serious enough. I kid you not. And I'm sitting out. You guys see me out there. I'm walking out there. Had my EMT shirt on because I just came from doing a volunteer gig. Badge on my hip, right here. Mask on my face, hat. So I'm like, all right, cool. They still out there, still acting like it's just, oh well, it's a spring day, I'm not gonna sit in the house, I'm not gonna social distance. And I'm like, this shit bothers me because it is now what we call community. When it's in the community, that means things around us are exposed to it. You touch things, sanitize your hands. You don't, like I said, money is some of the dirtiest shit that you can come in contact with. Money, you know that. So they still carrying on, and people still like out there like nothing happened. Like, you know, I'm in New Jersey. New Jersey is the second highest in the country of people who have been infected. The second highest of people who've been affected, but 108 people as of today have died from the C virus. 108 people in this state alone have died, where we have about 500 something deaths, maybe more than that. A lot of them have died, like 108 have died. God knows how many in New York have died. Let's see if we can see. Yes, it won't stop, and it's not gonna stop. How you doing? Game it up to the max. It's not gonna stop until a lot of people realize social distancing is the best we can do right now. I know it hurts, but I guess this comes from somebody who's been introverted like myself. Like, yeah, the only thing that drawback is that the gym is not open, but I can do some cows at home, so I can live. I'll be fine. My thing is, I work out in the field. I work out in the medical field, and I got a little bit of good news on that later on. But I work out there, and now we got to come to protocols where the driver of my vehicle, where I volunteer at in Hoboken, New Jersey, has to stay in the vehicle, and he or she has to keep in contact with me, as me and the observer have to put our mask on, our N95 mask, our PPE, personal protective equipment, and we have to go and examine the patient. And if they need anything from us, that driver, we have to radio it to the driver so we don't to minimize any contact, any exposure. That person would bring the stuff to us at the doorstep of the house and go back to the rig. That's basically what it is. They're not supposed to step into the area and come in contact with the patient. Only the EMT, who's the lead tech, which could be myself, more than likely, because I'm not certified to drive. I take tech positions to actually assess the patients and everything. So things have changed. You know, you look at all these shows, look at all these talk shows, look at even TMZ, for God's sakes. Everybody is doing it from Skype. They doing their chop up and talking about shit through Skype. It's real, but people who don't take it serious, a lot of these Negroes around here, I kid you not, and I'm like, tick, tick, tick. How much time he got? That man is sick. You know, like Pusha T said, talking about, you know, that's why I named this one Tick, 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 because with this mindset, we're gonna pretty much do ourselves in. Remember that ignorance that people was walking around with? Oh, black people are immune to corona. No, they're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay? And there was another aspect of this whole thing that might sound a little controversial, and I want anybody who's listening to this to understand where I'm coming from. I'm gonna be safe, man. Don't worry. I'm trying my damnedest to be safe. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm trying my best to be really safe out here. But there's another aspect of this whole situation that I wanted to talk about. My headset was feeding back. I had to put it away from here. But there's a big aspect of this I want to talk about, and it's this whole thing about how a lot of Asian American people were saying they're being discriminated on because of this whole situation, or the so-called origins of the virus. And I'm going to tell anybody who's listening to this who's of African American descent, this is not your fight. You have no dog in this fight, because remember how they treat you in their businesses. Remember those females who get the daylights beat out of them for just being accused of stealing stuff. All that disrespect that we got in our when you see people in the nail salons, people refusing to do this and that, and the fact that a lot of them own a lot of the distribution companies and refuse to sell to black beauty supply store owners. My thing is that, look, one hand washes the other. I don't feel bad for you if you're going through that right now. I know I should, and everybody has this whole thing like, oh my God, we've been through so many things. At least we don't, we should be sensitive to other people going through the same discrimination. No, because a lot of these people put us through the same shit every day in the business. And believe me, I haven't eaten takeout before this thing happened. Why? Because if you can sell people food that you cannot stand to eat yourself, that makes me look at it like, I don't trust this shit. You ain't eating it. Why? You know something about this food. And I'm talking about its quality, how bad it is, the possible origin of the meat. You name it. How you doing? How you doing, Mr. King? I'm doing good. Like, but yeah, you know about all this stuff. Like, I feel like I don't feel sorry for them. I've seen a bunch of kids like, we got to support their business. You got to go to the restaurant. No, young brother and sister. No, you don't. No, you don't. What's going on? Absolute. Like, no, you don't have to go to their business. They treat us like dog shit when we walk up in there. I ain't touching the takeout. I'm sorry. I'm not. I haven't touched it in years because I don't trust it. Especially they caught that crazy bitch she was catching pigeons in New York City. No, I'm good. I'm good. I am so good on that. But like I said, I'm not going to support it. I'm not supporting a lot of this stuff. And I made that stance before that because of the way they treat us. I could tell you one thing. Here being American, the one race of people, of Asian people who have treated me the kindest have always been Filipino people. I kid you not. Now that I can support Filipino people. Yes. Everybody else, like Chinese, Korean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like I said, they monopolize a lot of businesses when it comes to beauty supply, and they keep a lot of black owners. They don't sell to them. I'm not making this up. You can go look this up yourself. You can look up all the ass kickings a lot of these sisters have received, the disrespect, and these women. And let's not blame it just on the owners. These women have like this, how can you call it, the Stockholm syndrome? They'd be right back in there. Some simp ass Negro actually broke a window to make a statement about how they treat us at this restaurant. At how they treat the women at this beauty salon. Broke the window, got arrested, came back the next day, full of black women, still getting this stuff done. They don't care. So yes, it's like, let me see. Oh Lord, look what's going on in the comment section. All right, look, you can make up. I don't know if you just saying this absolute for anything in the comment section, but I can tell you this now: 108 people in New Jersey are dead because of complications of this. It ain't the virus itself; it's the complications it causes. When it fucks up your lungs, and your lungs cannot operate, everything else follows, man. You need to breathe. You go into cardiac arrest, there's fluid in your lungs. You can't really tell the difference if a person has congestive heart failure or if they have complications of pneumonia, because it's like, you gotta understand, it accelerates with the use of ibuprofen and acetaminophen. Though if you have symptoms of the C virus, do not use those two medicines. That I know for a fact, because of what I do. Do not use those two medicines whatsoever. And let me read the comment section. Nobody passes out from it. You get sick, like gradually sick. We have to monitor my co-workers who have come in direct contact with a corona patient who are at my hospital right now have to be screened, monitored. They had to be monitored every day when they get in. Their temperatures got to be taken. They have to answer certain questions. A lot of stuff. Yeah, like, and it's on lockdown for a reason. I'm telling you, like, the way people don't listen. People out jogging all goddamn day. The weather get nice, and you just see a bunch of, not even a fucking mask on their face. I can understand. You want to get out. You're gonna stir crazy. I get it. I get it. But if you out there, just keep yourself just keep yourself safe. Like a little mask would do fine. A lot of draconian laws. Man, fuck Trump. Trump let this get the way it is here in America. We have one of the richest healthcare systems, but we have one of the most mishandled ones in the world. You know? And how about over 10,000 troops being deployed to Texas? Hell, the National Guard, yeah. Well, Texas is the biggest state, so you know the spread's going to be bad there. But New York has the largest spread, seconded by New Jersey and California, number 3. You know, he dropped the ball on this. Like, he dropped the ball on this. He did, and now this whole thing, like Blade Runner said, Kid Organic, he said in a recent video, not everybody's gonna get this money. I'm not gonna get it. Why? Because guess what? Both jobs I have, housekeeping and EMT, I am what they consider essential personnel. As long as I'm an essential personnel and work for a hospital, even I have a job, as long as I don't fuck up and get fired. You get what I'm saying? So I don't qualify for none of that money. That shit, but it's still, this whole thing is still taken from my pockets. And I explain why. Move, get away here, Chip. Go, lay down. This is taken from my pockets because now my job my second job, my paid second job with my ambulance company I work for medical transport, have laid off many people, and I'm per diem. So even when I sign up for shifts online, guess what? I get turned down from them. Why? Because those shifts are given to the full-time people who they let keep their jobs. So I'm pretty much fucked. I can't make extra money like I would like to make. You know? Dollars will no longer be usable. The currency will be digital. Yeah, cryptocurrencies, what they've been moving to. Believe it. Cryptocurrency is where they want. This is the perfect chaos for this government to actually put down the new world order if they wanted to. Gradually. They're not going to just hit you with it like that. This is your asshole, and this is them. That's how it's happening right now. Right now, it's just the tip. Okay? You said the corona is an excuse for... Yes. Like I said, it's perfect. It's the perfect chaos. Okay? But its threat is real. It's real. Working in the medical field, it's real. Nobody can tell me that. You know? Somebody in my hospital... I don't know. I can't. I don't know names. But people, I can't confirm this or deny it, but quite possibly we have had that part of that 108. We quite possibly have contributed to that from a hospital, but do not quote me on that. And as long as I don't divulge names, I find it's something called the HIPAA violation. I mean the HIPAA Act, the HIPAA laws. Hospital something HIPPA. It's an acronym that protects them. I have to abide by that. I can't give names. I can't give illnesses. I mean, I can't give specific illness. I can't. And besides, I don't know any of them. I just know when I was leaving out today from work today, just as the clock, I was clocking out, somebody got rolled down to the morgue today. They've been calling rapid. This goddamn goddamn phone every time. Every time. My hospital is as full as it can be because a lot of rooms, they used to be able to double the rooms. But now that this condition is worsening and we got like 50 something potentials, they have to be kept in the room by themselves. So yeah, even though the number isn't as big as it usually is, it's still full for the simple fact that a lot of these 2-patient rooms have to be isolated to one patient who potentially has it. And they're sending people home after they rule them out a few days. They keep them there for observation and keep them at ISO. You can only go in if you have gown, the N95 mask, gown on you, and your goggles. And gloves, of course, definitely gloves. And the thing is, housekeepers like myself, we have to go in and clean the room with this patient in there. We gotta wipe everything down with bleach and stay protected at the same time, because it's what they call droplet. You know? And like I said, the lack of clients with my ambulance service, my medical transport service, has taken money away from me. But speaking of that, I told you guys earlier in the stream that I got good news. And good news is that effective April 24th, I am no longer going to be an environmental services worker. I will be transferring over to emergency medical service in my home city that I'm sitting here right now in, full time. Better pay, city differential, opportunity to get a lot of experience that I need and to actually serve my community as a full-time emergency medical technician. The job I've been trying to get for 1 year over. You know, what about the waiting room? Okay, waiting room is not as crowded as you think. That hospital, they've been referring to people to stay home, and people, for the most part, oh, thanks, man. Thanks. It was a long time coming, you know. It was a long time coming. But as for the emergency room, a lot of people have been really staying home, so we haven't had a mass hysteria going on here, you know. And now they got this thing where you can actually FaceTime your doctor, telemed. That's through Barnabas. You can actually FaceTime the doctor and talk to them, so you won't have to come to the hospital. Yeah, man. All I gotta do is just keep my head on the swivel for the next few weeks, because they can do anything to try to stop my momentum. So I have to stay on my P's and Q's. I do my job. I know I've been waiting this long, and I continue to do a good job currently in the field I am right now in environmental services. So I'm not gonna stop that. I'm gonna just keep working. I'm humble as hell. This is what I've been working towards, but I'm not complacent with it. When I get in there, I'm be happy that I'm there, but I want to possibly work on taking it to the next level when time allows me to, and the finances right. Right now, I gotta get my finances right. My vehicle's on its way out. My vehicle's knocking on heaven's door. I have to assess: is it cheaper to make a lot of necessary repairs or how much would that cost? Or should I just buy me a nice used car? I live within my means. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't understand that. They feel like they gotta keep up with the Joneses, you know? And that leads me into another thing. You know, we've been talking about this virus and how dreadful it is how it's changed people's lives, but let me tell you one thing. Like, speaking of living within means, I have to say that I don't know if it's going to change the way men and women interact with one another. And I ain't talking about on the physical level. I'm just feeling like on the fact that, how can I say this? How can I lead into this? Will it humble a lot of these women out here? You know, will it? because we got a lot of situations going on when it comes to a lot of people aren't able to work right now. And a lot of females, you've seen it. You know, we've seen the booty clapping and all this other stuff that's been going on online already when things were the way they were before the C virus made its presence well known. And now it's worse. You know, we got out of work adult actresses, out of work strippers. Let's see how this thing goes. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna see a lot of people appear out of nowhere. A lot of females are gonna appear out of nowhere, and all of a sudden be looking to be nice and everything. But I recommend a lot of you guys, please look into their past. Please look into what they're up to. Do a deep dive of their social media if you need to. You know, because pictures can be erased, but character and looking at how they respond to certain things, that cannot. And I could tell you, some people I know actually had this whole females, a lot of this mindset that they like showing you taking selfies, they like doing all these other things and whatnot while they at work to show off the fact that they got a career and they got a body. My thing is that these women are either divorced or never been married. And you just got to look at that like, God damn, she look good, but what happened? The same way they look at us. Because when you are, I'm going to tell you now, as a 41-year-old man, they look at me like I have 3 fucking heads because I am not married. I don't have a girlfriend at the moment. I don't have children. And I'm like, this is why priorities are all screwed up. All screwed up. You know why I say screwed up? Because women look at you like that and they don't get to know who you are. They don't get to understand that maybe you chose this path to be, you know, not running up and everything. Look at the whole Steven Jackson situation. Steven Jackson, the retired NBA basketball player, he's about a year older than I am. Steven Jackson's like 42. And everybody's just focusing on the fact that he said, don't get involved with bitter black women. They'll ruin your life. No, he's not saying date outside your race. I guess that goes to show that all his baby mamas are black women, right? Right? Is that the case? How would I say if I have all my children by one race of women, what am I gonna say? Don't mess with bitter white women? That's not who I have the children by. And he was trying to tell guys, look, he was like, don't make the mistakes I did. I got 3 children that I don't even get to see, but they see my money. A lot of people don't understand this. And I don't know if you listen to my podcast that I did on my other channel when I did a 20-something minute podcast. Because speaking of standards, like MMA was talking about having standards, I actually was told by somebody who's related to me, who's female, that my standards aren't standards, those just preferences. I'm like, wait a minute, but you call them standards when you tell a guy he's too short, he ain't got enough money, he ain't got this, he ain't got that. But when I say you're too fat, you're too ratchet, I'm not attracted, I don't find big women attractive. I'm sorry, I don't. Because everybody has been misusing thick for the longest times, you know? But let me see if I can find the video for you guys. Hold on. Steven Jackson says bitter baby moms ruin black men. That's exactly what he said. Especially, you know? But let me interact with the background. interact. Let's go. Okay. I think it was this. Is it this one? I think it's this video. What's up, everybody? I just have to tell you something. And as a guy, you might be able to relate to this. Let me close the door here. Anyway, as a man, we understand, especially a black man, you understand that if you're moving in a good direction, but you're not where you want to be yet, you understand that you still may seek advice about things, but at the same time, you still have a great sense of self because you know you're moving in a good direction. You know you ain't that stereotype that a lot of victim-minded women like to put upon you, especially in the black community. You're not that type of man. But there comes a time where we understand as black men, we have to stop seeking guidance and advice from black women. Whatsoever, whatever form. We just have to, because if you do, I'm saying you have to be very, very smart about who gives you advice. And let's be honest, man, there's not a lot of fair and balanced black women out here today in black America. They speak through their own experiences, of course, and that's not a good thing for when it's giving advice, because I know we all speak through our own experiences. I'm saying a lot of them don't know how to pull apart giving that advice versus pushing their own victimhood upon you. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, we have to stop seeking advice, because I understand that, yeah, we've all been hurt. We all have been through this. And I, as a person, have tried when, like, giving advice to young women and men and stuff. I'm like, look, I'm telling you what I went through. Your situation might be different. I'm just putting you up on game so you can know variables. You know, keeping it honest with them. Like, look, I'm not going to push my type of lifestyle, my beliefs upon you. I'm using my beliefs as a means of trying to teach myself and hopefully you how to look out for things that I had to learn to look out for through going through them. But no, not a lot of sisters, you know. And it hurt my heart that my own flesh and blood thinks very, like, her whole perception upon black men and men in general just shows one of materialism, you know. Why are you driving that car, you know? Why when you gonna get you something new? When you gonna do this, you know? Women ain't gonna look at you a certain way unless you have all these things. And I'm like, I want these things for myself. Because if a woman looking at me a certain way just because she think I can offer her something, but that she's not offering herself, there's a goddamn problem. Now, even a woman who can offer all these things to herself and she is very successful, doesn't make her a good mate in the first place. Okay? And also, at the same time, she still can I still understand just where she coming from. She worked hard, she accomplished this. She's looking for somebody who's done about the same, if not better. Yeah, I get it. I get it. You know, I definitely get it. My thing is, when you are in a situation where you feel like you are actually moving towards something, you actually accomplish something, and then you give advice to people and you make them feel like, since they haven't done the things you have done and the succession you've done it and the pattern that you've done it, you tend to get bad advice. But I've noticed that there's a lot of piss and vinegar when it comes to black men and black women and how black. Yeah, I mean, that's just a snippet of it. And what I'm trying to get into is that a lot of women tend, where I'm from, they give a lot of disdain, a lot of They speak. They don't speak to actually give you advice. They speak down on you because they feel they have this perception of what you should be, their vision of what a man should be. But peep who you get advice from, because I can tell you one thing: if you get advice from somebody who has failed marriages, you're gonna end up like this. You're gonna end up with somebody who's just gonna give you advice to make you feel like you are absolute dog shit. Why? Because they haven't held themselves accountable for their marriage being dissolved. It's never just one side, like many people think. You know, even though he or she might have did something that fucked the other one over, there's a reason why he or she fucked that person over. I'm not saying that absolves them of the reason that they did it, but that absolves them of doing it, but they did it for a fucking reason. You know? This is why I tell them, like, look, how do you giving me advice like that and your marriage is, you in a marriage, but your marriage ain't going great? So you mad at your husband or things ain't go picture perfect, so now you think you can vicariously push your agenda upon me because you want things to go in a fairy tale world the way you are. Like, you watch too many goddamn movies, ladies. Like Nemesis said, a lot of them watch too many movies. This is why a lot of media is tailor-made for women. Lifetime Network, when it comes to black women, it's like all that love and hip hop. They love dysfunction, and they think dysfunction is what it takes. This is why they look at men who actually have their act together. They look at men who actually are about something. No, they make you look like all these people on here. They live in these houses that they don't really live in. They just staged to look like they are well off. No, they're not. Okay, once that season's over, they back somewhere wherever they are. Okay, unless they wisely invested the money they got from the piece of shit show that they were on in the first place. But a lot of them, like I said, a lot of this trash TV is geared towards women, and it alters and affects the way they treat men. It does. It's like, what is stuff that's geared towards men, really? Like on regular TV, like we like action, we Walking Dead, sports, anything of that nature and stuff. And that leads to even another thing too. Why do you think female sports aren't widely supported by females? Why? Because they watching trash TV, or they are at those men's games trying to get those men to fuck them and cream pie inside them for comeuppance. They don't give a damn about supporting other women. You know? That's why I'll be looking at this is why I guess a lot of these anti-SJW people are so mad every time they hear something, especially men. I don't understand how we got so many men who make content creation, and every time they see something that's geared towards female, they have a fucking heart attack. I'm like, if you know it's geared towards female and you see how hokey and how forced it is, why are you fucking with it? Why are you complaining about it? When you complain about something so much, that means you actually care about it, and it actually gets under your skin, which is that's the reaction they want us to have. This is why I don't support a lot of troll ass motherfuckers, and they get on my goddamn nerves. Because I sit there, some of it, like, I have to make a stand. I'm about to unsub from a lot of people. I mean it this time. I'm just done with the trolling shit. I'm just done with it. I mean, for real, I'm fucking done with it. Matter of fact, when I get a chance, I gotta unsub from a few people. That show's been running for too long. What, The Walking Dead? Well, the comic ran for how many years? The comic ran? They're gonna fill up all that info They got a few more seasons left in it. I mean, for fuck's sake, Law and Order Special Victims Unit been running for 20 fucking years. And it's gonna run for, they just signed for 3 more seasons. You know? And they didn't kill off the main character. Rick is getting movies, by the way. Rick is getting movies, by the way. And Michonne just left the show too. Rick lived. Michonne's alive out there. Yeah. So, that's why that's going on. But they done veered away from the comic book. Now, they're going to use elements of the comic book, but it's going to do its own thing. I see it has a few more seasons to finish up. The comic book ended already last year. So they're going to finish up running that complete arc. There's so much story they can tell that's left. Even though they made drastic changes. But I don't know anymore about this stuff. Like I was saying, if something like, this is why I don't like people like Yellow Flash. I don't like people like the Quarterin. I mean, I'm about on my last nerve with Michael Does Life. I'm just tired of it. People know how to ride algorithms. And when you ride algorithms on YouTube and you make content and you keep talking about specific topics because you know it gets views, no matter if it's good or bad, people like me, I'm like, dude, all right, I can't wait for the fucking game to come out. Now you're gonna complain about another goddamn game that people like, geeks and gamers, all that shit. I'm just done. Oh, the comic book ends differently. This is how the comic book ends. It's like this. Rick gets killed in the comic book, but I forgot the kid that killed him, or this young man that killed him. And Carl puts down Walker Rick and then realizes it's his father, and he's destroyed. Like Michonne is trying to console him, and he's like, how am I supposed to go on without my father? She's like, look, your father knew this day would come someday, sooner or later, and he was getting you ready for this, right? He was like, yeah, she has, you know, he has been and stuff. So there's a time jump. You know, there's a time jump, and now Carl is a grown ass man, about in his 30s. He is married to Sophia, and they have a daughter named Andrea, who he named after Andrea, who lived for a long time in the comic book. They killed off Andrea in season 3 of The Walking Dead. But in the comic book, Andrea and Rick were a couple for many years, and he considered her like a mother to him. Michonne was still there. Michonne was still around, but Michonne was with Ezekiel, you know, before Ezekiel got killed by the Whisperers. So so anyway, Carl is grown. He's married. He got back with Sophia because he was with Lydia for a while, Alpha's daughter. So they around, you know, they damn near beat the apocalypse, meaning they survived it. You know, the walkers done, I don't know, at this point in the comic book, years later, people have barely seen walkers. You know, they still live. Everybody's still infected. You'll die, you still turn. But as for hordes of having to kill them and having to see them out there all there, those days they have beat the apocalypse technically. So Carl's doing this thing, and one day a walker shows up and on his property, and he kills it. And then next thing you know, Herschel comes. Herschel, who's the son of Glenn and Maggie, you know, because Maggie is still around. She's coming back to the series on a TV show anyway. So anyway, Maggie's still around. So Herschel was like, you killed one of my walkers. And Carl was like, what the hell are you talking about? Your walker? He was like, yeah, I'm doing that show to show people how life used to be and this, that, and the other. He was like, are you out of your fucking mind? Don't you realize what these things have caused people, what they've done to people? So, you know, he ended up having to get arrested for that. Yes, because they got laws and systems, and he's in front of Judge Hawthorne, which is an old black woman, and she lets him off easy because George Hawthorne is Michonne as an old woman. So, all right, he's cool. I think, no, that didn't get to that point yet. So they said, Carl, you have to replace that walker you killed of Herschel with another one. So Carl was like, all right, fine, fuck this. All right, cool. I do that, you know. But meanwhile, the other things happening. Eugene is still alive. Negan just lives secluded inside the house. They bring him food and everything, but he's an old man inside the house. They didn't show him in the comic book, but he's still around. Negan is still there. So what happened is that Carl is charged with having to replace the walker of Herschel, his walker that he killed, with another one. He killed that to protect his daughter and his wife. So meanwhile, he's out there looking for a walker because, like I said, they hard to come by these days. And he's out there and he runs into Lydia. You know, Lydia is his ex-girlfriend, you know, Alpha's daughter. She's a grown woman. He gave his hat to Lydia. And, you know, they sleeping out there, you know, laying down and stuff. She's like, don't worry, I won't try to fuck you or anything, you know. Because, you know, they used to be a couple. Lydia's his, he bust his first nut with Lydia, I believe. Yeah, he did in the comic book. So anyway, something happens, and I think they cut to Herschel and all his walkers in the cage are dead. Carl said, fuck that shit. Carl murdered all of them. And Sophia, Carl's wife, who was basically baby young Herschel's sister, because Maggie raised Sophia, she was like, you know what? She went to her mother and was like, you got to do something about Herschel. He's been roaming around like he's been acting like a spoiled brat and stuff and doing shit like this, and you so busy trying to get things in order that you let him do this. So anyway, Carl's back in court and he gets off easy about it because Michonne knows better. She knows what they've been through. You know, she used to slice them motherfuckers' heads off all the time. So she's like, she got married and she kept her ex-husband's last name. That's why we didn't know it was Michonne, and she was older. It was, I don't know, 20 something years later, maybe. So basically Herschel comes to Carl. They have an argument. He's like, look, I understand what you may think about me, but I never got to know my father. I never knew this world, and this is my way of doing this and stuff, and trying to remember a world that my father was part of. Because, you know, Glenn got his brains bashed in by Negan many years ago, if you don't remember that. So everything's all good and everything. I think Carl goes home. He's free to go. He goes home, sits baby Andrea on his lap, his daughter, and he reads a book to her called The Walking Dead, and that's how it ended. That was the last shot. Somebody, I think Eugene, chronicled a lot of things that's happened. Just all of them contributed and made this book called The Walking Dead, and that's how it ended. Carl, he was meant to survive to the end, but Scott Gimple fucked that up on the TV version. And Andrew Lincoln wanted to leave the show anyway, because Andrew Lincoln was missing out. Rick was missing out on his children growing up. He wanted to leave the show a while ago, but when they killed off Chandler Riggs' Carl, that made him like, you know what? This is about the time. What you took away Carl. What else do Rick need to go? Now I can leave. And that's what happened. Yeah, they did that on the TV show. You actually saw his eye pop out. Like, pop out of the socket, like that. They did that effect. That very effect you've seen in the comic book, they did that in practical effect. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. But speaking of this whole virus thing has caused The Walking Dead season finale to be delayed. They're gonna still air episode 14 Sunday and episode 15 next week, but the episode 16, we don't know when that's gonna air, which makes no fucking sense to me. I guess they holding it to a later time because Fear the Walking Dead has been delayed, and A New World, the 2-season miniseries, has been delayed too, even though it's complete. I don't know why. I guess because of, I don't know. Anyway, so the season finale will not air in 3 weeks like it should air, which makes no sense to me. My dog is over here snoring. But yeah, that's how it ended. Remember, Andrea and Rick was together for a long time in the comic book. She got scratched like a few years ago, and she died. She turned to a walker, and Rick had to kill her because, you know, that was like he lost his another wife. He lost Lori, and then he lost Andrea years later. Andrea was that badass sniper. Andrea was a sniper and everything. She basically what Sasha was in the comic, in the TV series. Sasha was never in the comic. Sasha was an original character to the TV series. Remember Sasha, the black girl, Sonequa Martin Green's character. She was nasty sniper. Andrea had those skills in the comic book. So yeah. Yeah, well, speaking of Resident Evil, guess what? Remember Resident Evil 6? Like I said, the virus in China, C virus, China, anybody? A lot of people are like, damn, Corona. If you arrange the words in Corona, it mean, you know, it spells raccoon. I'm not even joking about that. Somebody put that online, and I'm like, holy shit, they got a point. But yeah, it is like Resident Evil out here. And then we got to worry about, remember the zombie dare virus thing? Ask Blade Runner if he comes back to the stream. Ask Organic about the video he did about the zombie dare virus. That is commonly known, and they say hunting actually helps keep that from spreading. Yes, the dares have their own virus that dissolves their flesh and made them look zombie-like. It's more well known. It's been around for how many years already? Let me see, but it's starting to go down. One of my family members had got it yesterday. Yep. C virus. And yeah, I'm thinking like this whole thing has just been crazy. But I could tell you one thing. Like I said earlier in the stream, the people in my neighborhood are not helping. This weather gets nice and they said fuck social distancing. They out there, you know, getting drunk, being belligerent, shooting dice with one another. I'm like, I can't win, bro. I think I was born in the wrong era. Fuck. Oh man, I should have been born in it. I don't know. But then I have to end up being a fucking boomer. And you know how boomers get. Boomers blame everything on the younger generation except themselves. That's my problem with a lot of baby boomers, bro. Like, I had to curse one out in the store. I don't know what was this angry old black man. He was, you know, I'm looking, I just finished using the self-automated line. I just came from doing this shift with my volunteer gig, and so I was in Target, which was like not too far from Hoboken. It's back in Jersey City, but anyway, it's like this. I finished using the automated line to check myself out. I only came in there to get bags for my dog poop. You know, you get what I'm saying? So I said, hey, the line's free. And he happened to be in my on-site when I turned up and said, hey, the line's free. He's like, what? I said, the line here, you can use this one. This register's free. And he said something smart under his breath. And I was like, well, you know what? I was like, wow, that's rude. That's really rude. So I ended up saying, speak louder, asshole. And I said, speak louder so you can say whatever smart motherfucking comments you said under your breath, asshole. And I said it and I looked at him and said that. And then I walked out the store. I swear, like, you would think a lot of, like, my problem with a lot of elderly people, a lot of old people, is that a lot of them feel entitled. A lot of them feel so fucking entitled because you lived a long time. I'm like, look, that's all well and good. It is a milestone to live a long time, but you don't have to be an insufferable cunt, okay? You don't have to be an asshole about it. Nobody owes you a steak, okay? Nobody owes you nothing. Can you even eat the steak if we gave you one? You know, do we have to chop it up a little bit? You know, to make sure your dentures, it don't get stuck in your dentures, or you can chew it properly, won't choke to death? Fuck out of here. You know. And a lot of people are, oh, come on now, be nice to the, you know, respect your elders. No. Respect mutually one another, and this shit won't be happening. Respect ain't a fucking one-way street. Yeah, but I'm glad that, you know, are they gonna recover from it? Catching the C virus? I hope so, because it's like HIV in a sense, AIDS in a sense. It's not the virus itself that kills you, it's the complications that a compromised immune system causes you. That means you like you touch, you can touch a dog's mouth and you can catch all types of germs and die because you have absolutely no strong, your immune system is about as durable as a piece of wet paper. That's the problem. And this is what corona C virus is doing to people. It's fucking up your lungs, and once your lungs, whew, this is why pneumonia is so popular, pneumothorax, all this stuff. Once your lungs are fucked, and it's in a heavy infection in it that spreads quickly, like I said, acetaminophen, like Advil and Aleve, and ibuprofen aggravates it and makes it more aggressive. So if you're going through pain, please take Tylenol, aspirin. Do not mess with ibuprofen or acetaminophen if you test positive. If you even feel remotely sick with all of the symptoms, do not use acetaminophen and ibuprofen. Okay? I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up at all. I just want everybody out there to be safe, but don't be paranoid at the same time. Just understand that this threat is real, but don't go batshit insane. Okay? This is what I want people to take from this whole situation, because a lot of people have this whole thing where this is just bullshit, it's just blah blah blah, this ain't, you know, a lot of people got this thing going on with them. But guess what happened? One of those idiots that was licking the toilet seat has tested positive. So I would say those people online licking toilet seats and licking poles on train stations, which are real videos, one of these dudes have tested positive. So yeah, the threat is real. And you look at hell, look what happened recently with Roman Reigns, the wrestler. You know, he's been battling leukemia for like since he was 22 years old. And leukemia, the chemotherapy, be it the one that make your hair fall out or the oral chemo that you're going through, compromises your immune system. So he dropped out of WrestleMania because he doesn't feel safe. His health is questionable. And you know what? Screw the people who actually say, oh, he's using his health as an excuse. This man has cancer. Leukemia is a blood cancer, for fuck's sake. And you telling me, oh, he's just using an excuse because this shit should be canceled because of the lockdown. You know, I'm like, you fucking people are so insensitive to the situation. I know you might not like his character, but for God's sakes, put the character aside. This man has fucking leukemia and his immune system is compromised. And this what has to do with corona is that with a compromised immune system, you are open Target. That 17-year-old boy died in California because he didn't have insurance and the hospital turned their back on him. 17. Look it up. Look it up. You know? And me, I'm indifferent. Like, as for him, you know, I understand how the wrestling business work. They see a dude, they sell a package, a gimmick and everything. And look, this puts food on this man's table. You might not like it all that much, but I get it. The dude's a stand-up guy. He's like one of the coolest dudes you can meet. Like, basically. And he came back and he's just been doing all these Make-A-Wish things and doing all this stuff with cancer because he's like, you know what? I'm not just doing this and I'm healthy as a horse. I've been through where he's like, I'm going through this too. I'm here to, you know, he turned that around. He like, I ain't got to be wearing a belt around my waist or something. He has 3 children. So think about it. He's a man who has leukemia. He's in remission. And he has 3 children. And then you see children who you have a sore spot for because you have some of your own. And they going through something you're going through. Yeah. Once the food and so, hey, yo, it ain't the food that's the issue. Food is getting stocked right now. These motherfuckers, like, look at these people who just bought up all the toilet tissue. You know what? They bought up all the toilet tissue, and guess what? They bought up all the sandy wipes, the Clorox wipes. Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something. The love of family, because we care about each other. My family, I have family who's actually able to look out for me and stuff. I live by myself, so I don't use much of the TP. Like, I don't go through it quickly, because if you're smart, if you use the flushable wipes with the toilet tissue, you will use less toilet tissue. Okay? So, for the love of the family, check this out. I'll be right back. This is all I would need for a long time. And you have Ma Dukes who sent this to me. When you got family, this is the type of thing you need to have when you got family. People who look out for each other. She sent this to me through my brother. I know it's trivial and stuff like that, but the fact that I'm not going crazy over this shit, but when I go to stores, the fact that my mother knows, because, you know, she's the food shop for all of us. She know how people are. She sent that to me. I might not even get to it because I still have another 5 rolls over there that I haven't even tapped to. I still got 1 roll I've been using for how long? I've been using for weeks. You know why? Because I know how to use both a system of wipes and that to keep your supply going longer. That's what I'm trying to tell people. All right. Let me see that. And yeah, you send that to me. You know, it might be a LOL to you, but the gesture, the count. Why? Because the fact that I still can't find that in store, even if I needed it. If I didn't have that 5 over there that I have in my supply, I needed to go find this one, and why I could not find it in the store. Because people are that. It takes situations like this to show you how selfish people really are. People show their true colors, and you'll see it. Like, people show their true colors. I still can't find a lot of this stuff. The moment it gets on the shelves, it's off the shelves. I'm like, how much ass wiping you doing? Are you having that much anal sex? Jesus Christ. Are you douching your butthole? What the fuck? Do you need that much? Really? The food, and I could go to the supermarket and it's not assured that your food. Acme supermarkets, the supermarkets we have over here, lots of food. Well, every now and then, they might run out of meat, but right now they kind of price gouging the chicken. The chicken is more expensive than it usually is, which I'm like, you know what, F this, I ain't buying this shit. You think you're slick. I'm not falling for the nonsense. But food is plentiful. People are buying the wrong things. And on top of that, if you're going to buy food, this is what you need to buy here. You need to buy things of this nature. Hold on a second. Because I need to educate some people on it. If you're going to buy food, this was given to me. This is what you need here. Canned goods. Black bean soup. Given to me right here. Black bean soup. The label's missing off of this one. Don't know what that is. I had to open it and find out. I hope it ain't sardines. I fucking hate sardines. But you get my gist, right? Canned food. Chickpeas, which they put in hummus, which is hummus is made of that. They got these cookies here, but they sealed in the package. Always look at the date. I don't know what the hell. This is Goya sent this to us. Hell, they even sent me fucking seasoning. Look at this. I don't even know, it's good, I'm black. We season our food. You get what I'm saying? They got, look, chipotle peppers. You can put that in your black bean soup. Good. Lentils. Bag of lentils. Stuff that you have to boil. Stuff that have a long shelf life. Look at that. Cans. Shelf life. Paella in the package. You put this here. You got paella right here. And this is the stuff that goes in there, the can of it. You boil that, then you add that to it to mix it around. I don't eat clams. Fuck that. Ugh. Ain't my thing. And guess what? Organic pink beans. Things of that nature. Canned foods. Anything else in here? And more. And red beans and rice. Things of that nature. Because it's going to come a day where we won't have access to dairy and cow and all this other stuff. But if you got things like beans, you got beans, lentils, canned foods, you can stretch a long way. And yes, water. Definitely water, like you said. And you gotta buy canned goods. And hell, even, guess what I seen Negroes buying around my way? Guess what I've seen them buying around my way? Like when they go to supermarkets, they want to buy fucking ramen noodles in the package. And I'm like, okay. I know, ramen. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, Petey? Why are you bothered? What are you doing? What you up to no good for? Like a big baby. You see I'm doing my live podcast. Come here. Why are you licking my hand? Not my face. Not my face. You see this, people? Y'all been outside already. Y'all gonna both go lay down because I'm about to call this a night. I gotta go to work in the morning. Come here, Chipper. Not you, Petey. I called Chip. Sit down, Petey. Come here, Chipper. Come here, old man. Not you. Hey. Come here. Stop it, Petey. Come here, Chip. Chip, come. Hey, Chip. Everybody, meet Papa Chip. He doesn't come in front of the camera much, but here he is. You don't put his hand on my shoulder. He doesn't lick. You don't have to worry about him licking you. He just wants your attention. But of course, he wants all the attention to himself. Petey, what'd I tell you about that? It's like children right here. GameStop closing down a lot more stores. Yeah, they have to close down a lot of stores. Yeah, speaking of GameStop, we have another troll online. And I didn't realize just how obnoxious he was with his GameStop videos, but Clean Prince Gaming gets on my goddamn nerves. But I said this, how long ago did I say this about GameStop closing down? Because the digital era is coming. The digital era is coming, and now they're closing down because of that. This, not just because of this pandemic. The pandemic is just accelerating what is inevitable. Digital was the way to go. You think Resident Evil 3 gonna sell a lot of physical copies given the situation we in? I doubt it, unless they're gonna go to Walmart and get it. But as for GameStop, no, days are numbered. It's that karma that came back to bite them on the ass. All those years of selling, giving people shit prices on their pre-owned games. Man, you remember when they were Funko Land? They were the worst. And if you watch Where's Barry always tell you it makes no sense to pre-order, especially at GameStop, because they might be closed by the time, and your pre-order might be just fucked. We don't know what happened with that. And this whole situation is proving him right. That's why I kind of just roll in and just buy it. If the store's open, there's no GameStop? Oh, okay. J&L Games, New York City. What's going on? How you doing? Do you have Resident Evil 3 out right now? Yeah, we got it. You coming to get it now? I was like, yeah, I'm coming to get it. I'll be right there. Give me about 30 minutes. All right, boom. Just like that. And that's how it is. At this day and age, I used to care about going to GameStop. The only thing I'm gonna miss from GameStop is buying used games. I'm be honest with you. I'm going to miss that shit like crazy. Because a lot of games that I refused to buy initially, I now have to pay a lot more money for if there's no place for me to buy used games. That's the one thing that I'm gonna really miss. I am. But here it is. It's past 10 o'clock. I've been on for over an hour. I want to keep this one short. Everybody, thank you for stopping in. Just realize, in this whole pandemic, it may not. Don't be paranoid, but don't be oblivious to everything that's going on. I want everybody to stay safe. And basically, the social distancing is the only thing they got for this right now. There's no vaccine, no none of this stuff. And I feel like we gotta let this one run its course, because until something definitive can help, you gotta let this one run its course. But a lot of people still ain't gonna learn. He talking about he want everything back to normal by Easter Sunday. Not with these niggas around here. But I digress, y'all. I can tell you, people who weren't worried about it are in my hospital right now coughing the lung out. But that's what I'm telling you. Be careful. But for real, I have to go, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I will catch you on the flip side, y'all. Alright. So I'm going there. And I will see y'all later on, y'all. Peace out.